Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Will and Deshaun Show. I am Deshaun.
And I am Will.
That's what's up, y'all. And today we are talking about the bitter gay. the guy who's on social media and complaining.
Not just social media.
Oh, this guy complains in person too. Via text too.
Via
On the
text,
phone too.
On the phone, social gatherings, at the club, at the party, at the kiki scene,
Like,
at the ball.
He has niggas
whatever.
ain't shit tattooed. That's his tag when I say niggas ain't shit.
Ding-ding-ding-ding.
Right? That's funny. Niggas ain't shit. But yeah, so Will, how are you today?
I am doing very well, actually. How are you?
I'm well too. So have you ever been that guy?
I have not been that guy, but I feel like I'm turning into that guy.
Why do you feel like you're turning into that guy?
With all of the bad experiences that I've had in our dating world.
Bad experiences are a part of life.
True. But again, you can only take so much bad experience before it kind of warp you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually let me retract. I'm not turning into that person, but I felt like I could turn into that person at a point of time, at certain times. Because, again, of the bad dating experiences I have.
Don't become your dating experiences.
Absolutely. But you know what? You have to be very careful. Well, this goes to a thing. There's a person in particular on social media who I follow who is extremely attractive.
Not extremely.
Oh, he's extremely attractive. He's face, body, career.
You can show me his picture when
everything.
we get done.
Sure will.
Okay.
But all his whole Twitter feed, it's very negative.
That's extremely unattractive.
Absolutely. So that's my turn off from him. Mm-hmm. Is that everything he says is so negative about the community.
What are some of the things that he say?
Some of the things are, well, if I see one good thing, I'm running, or if I see thing, I'm shutting it down, and all gays do this, and the gays are messy this.
I hate when people be like all
that.
gays or all guys or all...
Okay, let's put a pin in and stay right there. When people always say that, this is the question I always say to them. Mm-hmm. Aren't you a part of the gay community? Are you messy?
Right.
And they say no. So I say all gays are not messy.
Are you messy? Are you a whore? Are you every other bad stereotype you gave the whole entire community?
Right.
So yeah, I think people sometimes forget that their vibe is very important. And I don't care how attractive you are. Obviously, you single, so obviously you doing something wrong too. Also, I think people need to forget that when you're dating someone, it's not just it's your fault too.
Say that again for the people in the back. Bro.
Yeah, it's your fault too. You have to be accountable for something. I'm not saying that everything you're saying is a lie, but you're telling us one side of the story.
So okay, here's how these things happen. People become bitter, especially in our community.
I'm no one's relationship coach, by the way.
Neither am I.
Right.
But here's some examples on how I've seen and see people get bitter. They finally get out in the dating world. They go into it with an open heart. They get with someone that someone screws them over. So now they are bitter and now they're angry. And they, instead of getting healed from that situation, they take it out on every other person who they date. Or when somebody who doesn't, say if you're in a situation with somebody and they're not texting you back, because your ex didn't text you back, now that triggers you. And now you feel like everybody ain't shit. Because your hurt that you have not gotten healed from is currently making you a bitter, nasty person.
Right. Or I'll take it even a step further. You think because a person doesn't text you back that they ain't shit.
Absolutely.
Just because a person not texting you how you want them to text you or responding to your calls how you want them to respond to your calls, they're automatically a dog ass, ain't shit.
They
cheating.
They lying.
Right.
But I can see why some people get mad when, because this is the thing that everybody do too, straight as well. When you have text somebody, hey, what's up? And you, let's just say in an hour, but during that same time, you were posting on your social media.
Right, yeah.
So you seen that text. So I see why people get mad and be angry.
Right. I get it. But that's a very true statement. Because, your phone is in your hand, so that's true. But I still feel like sometimes we jump to conclusions. We do a lot of jumping and start to assume that a person is doing some worst case scenario, and that's why they're not giving me the attention that I want. Especially when we're jaded, we always, and I think everyone kind of does it in a sense. Especially when you're in something that you care about, you start to give these really bad scenarios. You make these worst case situations out of a person simply, I don't know, not looking at you like they looked at you yesterday. Like, oh no, why he looked at me like he looked at me yesterday? He looking at somebody else like he looked at me yesterday. He must have looked at somebody else like he looked at me yesterday.
Curry syndrome.
Right. I don't think that's Aisha Curry syndrome.
But you still want attention from other people.
Sidebar: I wasn't mad at Aisha Curry.
Why?
I just wasn't. I don't get mad at stuff.
We know. You don't too much rough for your fellas.
And I just felt like, okay. I think she was kind of like, I don't know. I just wasn't bothered by it. And I felt like people kind of were overreacting. But anyway.
No, okay, let's stay there for a moment.
But let's stay here for a moment.
Because if you are in a happy relationship, but you're saying that you're not getting hit on when you go down to the bar, or when you're outside, you're not getting attention from the outside. But you set your life up to be this wholesome person and wholesome wife and devout woman to your husband. So the attention that you should be concerned about is your husband's and not other people's. Because other people probably are paying you attention. You're just so wrapped up in your own situation that you're not really paying attention to now that you feel now you feel insecure because you're not getting hit on by other men, but you got a man. Ain't that's the purpose of getting a man?
I think with her, it's kind of like, I think she's also comparing her situation to the superstar who gets everything thrown at him. I think
she was comparing it to her husband.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is. And I think also in her case, she's a famous wife. So everyone looks at her a certain way. Now, I think if they weren't famous, I think she would get hit on. Because people wouldn't know her.
People might just not verbally say it,
right.
But somebody in their mouth said, I hear.
Yeah, because she's attractive. She's a pretty girl.
So let's tie that back into the gay community.
Okay, that was a sound effect.
So, do you feel through your current dating situations or current dating status, do you feel that as getting older and you're still single, that it's kind of making you jaded or kind of bitter that you have not got with someone?
It's not making me myself jaded or bitter. I'm very honest with myself, or I like to think that I'm a rational person. I know that the decisions that I've made in the past have contributed to me being single. And I'm not upset with being single. I'm not mad at being single. I do want, love and a career and all that good stuff. Not just a career. I don't want into my whole life. But love and the relationship and all that good stuff. But I'm very aware of my why when it comes to my relationship status. And I think some people don't understand their why when it comes to their relationship status. You don't know why you're single. Maybe you need to do some evaluating in your life and figure out why you're single. You don't know why you're in a bad relationship. Maybe you need to do something, because it's so wide to everything we in. So I understand that, Deshaun, you single because you made this choice, that choice. Nigga, that's why you single.
So I have a question for you, Deshaun. Do you feel that you're going to be and I know a lot of gay guys say this as well, that they feel like they're going to be single forever for the rest of their life. Or not only do they say it, they kind of like, I guess, actually it's not a mind frame. And I guess that kind of, is it like in a jaded box a little bit? Maybe the bitter jaded box?
But I think when you go around thinking that you're going to be that.
But because of this, your date just say you're putting yourself out there, you're trying to date, not just, because of course it's not what you're doing right now.
Exactly.
But you're putting yourself out there, you're trying to date, you're this to that, but the things are just not working.
Right.
Do you feel that, because I hear this a lot as well, that people feel like, well, I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. And I'm okay with that. I've also have other those words out my mouth before.
I personally don't feel like I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life. Yeah, I don't feel like that. I feel like when I'm ready to have what I want when it comes to a relationship, or just have fun when it comes to that, I'm gonna get it. Like, I don't know. I'll be worried about it. I think a lot of it is dependent upon whether I want it or not. And I think also we have to think about a lot of times we want stuff in the universe or whoever gives it to us, and then we don't accept it. That's a lot of situations too. Like, you said you wanted a man who got this, that, and the other. I sent it to you, and you ain't knew how to handle it, or you act like you ain't knew what it was. So,
well.
So
that's a situation that happens often.
Right.
But this also goes back to, oh God, I see so many examples all the time. Let's go back to a podcast, one of our podcasts previous about timing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to say this person's name, but I'm going to give like a little slight reference.
Okay. I wonder if I know this person.
Moving too fast.
Okay.
It's not the person, it's the person who's trying to get to know the person who's moving too fast. Very, meet the family, going on trips, and we've been dating for less than 2 months. And I feel, again, we set ourselves up for disappointment when we move too fast. Then, after you learn that, okay, that didn't work for you, now you're mad and bitter and jaded because you moved so fast, that was too fast for that other person couldn't handle that or didn't want that. And now you're mad because you're single again.
Right. I think, you know what? I think with that situation, sometimes you just got to look at it as a learning experience.
But a lot of times we don't take it as that. Especially, I notice that as the older we get, the more they really be like kind of
speeding it up.
Yes.
But in my opinion,
they kind of accelerate it a little bit.
I feel like gay men shouldn't have to do that because we don't have biological clocks. Like, why are we in a rush? I'm not saying be single and frolic all throughout your life. I understand that, but there's no need to rush, in my opinion.
That's why we got so many older gays now that's single. Because they still got that same mentality.
Well, that's a different generation, first of all. Second of all, I still don't feel like there's a need to rush. I don't. And I don't think those guys are single because I don't think that's the only reason they're single. Maybe things just haven't been working out in their relationships as well. Maybe they've still been in relationships.
Then there come the old bitter jacks who tricking off with young boys. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. I'm going to stay out of that one. Okay.
I know a couple.
I mean, can you hook me up on?
Sure. You might not like them, but sure.
I mean, if he a trick and I'm... What would I be?
Hello?
Okay, if he the trick and I'm the tree, goddamn, I'ma like it and I'ma understand it.
Hey, money's green.
Okay.
It don't matter who pocket it comes from.
Green buys every color.
Ching ching.
But anyway. But yeah, I do feel like a lot of it's in the mind. I do. And like, to go back to the guy who you were talking about, who you follow on Twitter, like that's nothing but mindset. Like, that's your mind. Like, what you put out on social media, that's the vibe you're giving.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it really turned me off. And I was like, this guy's so attractive, and he's tall, and he's built, and he's very handsome. He works. He seems from outside looking in, again.
Well, no one's perfect.
Ideal.
First of all.
Of course, we all have issues, but again, now he's letting his issues out, which is kind of turning people away.
I also feel like some people enjoy turning people away. Like, I see when I be on Jack'd, I do. Like, when I'm on Jack'd or any other,
Well, so what are some of the examples that you have on Jack'd and other sites?
As far as people having on their profile, block button, I'll block you as fast as fuck. I ain't dealing with this. I ain't dealing with that. I ain't dealing with this. As soon as I see this, it's over. Like,
so are they bitter than jaded?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, very that.
Why you enjoy blocking people? You single. You need to be getting to know somebody.
Okay.
I mean, damn. Why is that an enjoy? I mean, I'll block somebody on Jack too, but that's not something I'll brag about and say I enjoy.
Do you think as gay men we're too picky?
I think we can be. I think we get caught up in a lot of facades. I think
The whole no fats, no films. And
that, as well as just...
I mean, you're attracted to who you're attracted to.
You're attracted to who you're attracted to, but I feel like sometimes we can be a little superficial.
Oh, absolutely.
And, it's a different way of dating,
Here's another jaded phrase. Nobody want to be in a relationship, so I'm just going to be a hoe.
Right. That's like another symptom of a jaded gay.
Very much.
Right.
Because I see that more than often. They're like, well, I'm still gonna be a hoe. Fuck it. And nobody want to be in a relationship. I'm still gonna be fucking. And sadly to say, to everyone who's listening, and who's going to listen to this, that's the majority of our community, and that's a
You think so?
Yeah.
You think the majority are?
And that goes for any race,
Right.
But other nationalities get in relationships faster than black gays. I will say that.
Being black, you already got some baggage.
But we hear that the most. And mind you guys, y'all know this spring, summertime is coming up. So you know they and I don't know about any other city, but I know when it gets hot, it's seasons, it's festivals and prides and parties galore. And nobody, I'm not gonna say don't nobody want to be in relationships at those times, but don't nobody want to be in relationships at those times. Somebody gonna say it was a post that said, "So I ain't been to the gym all this time, so you gotta hold off till September."
Why nobody want to be in a relationship in the summer? I don't understand that.
That's whole season. I don't know why.
Why is that whole season? Because everybody naked.
Yeah, I think it's whole season for the straights and the gays. But I don't understand why nobody wants to get in a relationship. I feel like if you get in a relationship, especially in the summer, I think that's when you should be on the stroll.
Right. That means you could be out and
on the prowl. But people wait till it's quote unquote cuddling season to when the homosexuals want to get together.
Hobo, I hate you.
You know that's when everybody find a place to stay.
Right.
When them cold winter months come.
Right. But
you know what it is? Summertime you want to be footloose and fancy free. And you don't want to be tied down. Because people feel like if they're in a relationship, they're going to be tied down. They can't go and do what they want to do.
Well, you're going to... I don't know. That's just... I don't know. It's just a weird way of thinking about it. You're going to be, quote-unquote, tied down with someone eventually if you want a relationship. But then when you get in a relationship, that doesn't necessarily mean you're tied down.
But, and we've seen examples of this when people get in relationships where they disappear and you don't see them anymore. They don't do nothing. They significant others be just wanting them in the house all the time. And that's something that you need to definitely deal with in the beginning. Now, mind you, we're both introverts. And we both like extroverts. We like to go do stuff. But we cool with being at home, which I'm fine with that. But I don't want to get with somebody and then all we do is we in the house all the time. That's not cute.
Right. Well, I also feel like that shouldn't stop you from dating.
No. It's not stopping me from dating, but I'm just saying that right there is a no for me.
Right.
So maybe I shouldn't have to date an extroverted person versus an introverted person. Because two introverts going to just be in the house.
Right. And also dating is compromise.
And you don't want to go do anything? There's so much to do in the city. Especially when it get hot.
Right. I agree. So, yeah, it's all about compromise. So, I understand both sides. I do. But anyway...
Is the bitterness and jadedness very prevalent in our community? On a percentage of, what would you say? Like based off, like you said, based off social media, based off the gay apps, based off interactions with people, what percentage of you think that the gay community is very like jaded and bitter? Is it high? Is it low? Is it middle?
I would say middle.
So you give it like 50%?
Yeah. I meet people who aren't, upset with life. I meet people who are, It's definitely not everybody, but they do exist,
Well, absolutely.
And I think even with being jaded or not being jaded, I think there are different levels to it, You have people who are ready to pounce and who really just don't need to be in a relationship right now. And then you have people who are happy, very, very happy being single and living their life and not letting nothing from their past define,
Are you happy
there today? I think I am happy. I'm happy, but I'm not content.
Okay. That's a good way.
I don't long for it. You know what I mean? I don't long.
Sure, you could be one of them single gays.
And I hate that because
because you don't long for anything.
I think about it, and it's not. I'm not oblivious to it, but I'm not like clutching my pillow.
I think you're afraid to go to the next level.
But I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just not about it right now. I think when other things move around in my life, that space will open up.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, I got to declutter some stuff. But yeah, other than that, then no, I'm not scared. Like, I'm good. I'm in a good place.
Are you in the RV ready for love?
I don't know if I'm ready for love. I don't know if I'm there yet, you know. But yeah. I'm so good with the flow. But the flow that I'm going with right now is my own.
Are you open to getting to know someone?
Yes, I am. And I'm still open to dating. Like, I'm open to, taking it slow.
So when was the last time you've been on a date?
I've been on a date. Oh, you in my business. A date?
Date?
I mean,
/ hookup?
I've had some meet and greets this year. I've had maybe 1 or 2
meet and greets.
People that you were talking to on the app and then you meet.
And what else? Because y'all these meet and greets be different. Y'all have the meet and skeets.
We met at the mall.
Or y'all have actual meet and greets.
So yeah. But
you didn't answer the question.
We met at the mall.
All of them?
Yeah, one we met at the mall. Has it been anyone else?
Were they all meet and greets or they was meet and skeets?
You can't skeet at the mall.
You can.
I did not. But I don't. Have I had anyone? I might have had one.
So
I met somebody at the coffee shop.
Okay.
I met somebody I went to their house. But to be completely honest, even though I just got back on Jack this year, I haven't been on it like that. Like, I get on Jack when I get a message usually.
Okay.
But yeah, I just haven't, because I think when I got back on it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm back. Here I am, y'all. And
so with all of these meet and greets,
mm-hmm.
they didn't go anywhere.
No, they didn't.
Don't that suck? See, that's how you get better and jaded. Okay?
But they didn't go anywhere because of something bad. It just wasn't.
No, but I mean, honestly, to become jaded or bitter in a situation, it don't necessarily have to be bad. It could be very much a total disappointment all the time.
Right. Yeah. I don't be giving nothing too much expectation anyway. Maybe that's y'all problem. Y'all be putting too much into it. Now I know our minds getting going.
Let me say this, because that's how I am, and I was like, oh my God, am I kind of like jaded in the area that I don't have expectation from people?
I don't think you're jaded. I think you're realistic.
Yeah, I don't. I'm honestly, guys, I don't.
I think there's a difference between not having expectations versus when you're jaded. I mean, you're expecting the worst.
Yeah.
When you go into something, I'm gonna let it be what it is.
I really will go into things open-minded, and I just don't expect anything, because a lot of times people just don't go nowhere. But honestly, I haven't been on a date in over about 2 years now. I haven't dated in 2 years. I am slightly open to dating again, but also I haven't really put myself out there like that. Like, I'm on the market, but not on the market. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm just sitting on the shelf, but I ain't pushed myself to the front of the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it is for me. And I feel like, I was like, okay, it's kind of time for me to put myself out there and start to date. Like I will always continue to say, you guys will always continue to hear this out of my mouth, the apps really don't work for me. Mm-hmm. When it comes down to, like, trying to date. So now, if I go out and I see someone at the bar or at the park or at a restaurant, I will speak. Especially if I know that they're checking me out, I will just at least say hi and see where it goes. Now, that's what I will do. And now I work in an area where gay men are very frequent and frolic around. So I can now have more options versus where I currently stay, where there's people around, but there's not people around.
Right.
If y'all get my gist.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I get your gist. But yeah, I don't know.
Don't become bitter and don't become jaded. Don't set yourself up for failure. And don't think of it in a negative outcome all the time. Don't spew negativity out of your mouth about the communities. That way, you won't become that person. Because if you always say something negative about all the gays are scammers, all the gays are liars, all the gays are cheaters, all the gays got HIV, and this, that, and the third, it's just not cool. You get. I will say this: be aware of the red flags. Now, I will say that, but don't go in looking for the red flags. Because a lot of people go in looking for the red flags. You looking for that person to fail. You looking for that person to mess up. So you be like, "Yep, see, I knew it."
Right.
Don't go into it like that.
Right.
Go into it with, say, "Hey, my name's Will. Your name's so and so. You know, what do you like to do? Blah blah blah," and go from there. Don't go in it looking for marriage. And that's a lot of times that people go into it with meeting people looking for a straight marriage. And
But
straight
to counter
relationship.
that, what do you say to those people who say if they're dating at a certain age, they're dating for
Oh, I am a man of a particular age.
Of a particular age.
I would continue to say that. I would man of a particular age. I am currently
I just talked to someone who said that if they're dating at this point, it's about marriage. I don't know who it was.
It could have been me.
It was somebody else. I
want a one and done. I do want a one and done, but I will be dating multiple people, but I want a one and done. I do want to get to the point where I'm dating a person that we can have something really long term.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying
a couple of forevers.
A couple of forevers, you know. I'm not trying to, I'm really not looking for any, like, fly-by-nights or just flings and stuff like that. I mean, if I found a hookup person, buddy or whatever, I'm cool with that too. But ultimately, I do want a relationship that's going to last for the long haul. Somebody who I can eventually bring home to my parents or actually marry, quote unquote, to, you know, whatever, or we just stay together for forever. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I want, and that's my hopes and expectations. So I try not to put that pressure on myself, so when I'm let down through my dating process, I won't become jaded and bitter.
Right. I understand. And on that note, make sure y'all share this podcast and subscribe, and tell all y'all friends to subscribe, and we will see y'all next time.
Hit us up on Instagram, The Will and Deshaun Show. You can hit me up on Best of Black and or Best of Black Life. You can hit Deshaun up on Deshaun Durant on Instagram, and we'll holler at you guys later.
Bye.